Hey guys, what's going on? This is Lee Boone, and I wanted to talk to you today about mentoring. Today I met this woman who, my goodness, when you look at her, your mind starts racing if you're not careful, because all of the you start thinking about all of the things that may be going on. But nevertheless, I was pleasantly surprised. This was a single female who had two children, a son and a daughter. So, a son is real tall, and he's only 14 years old. He's got to be every bit of 6'3". Plays basketball. The dad ran out on him for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, the difference is, I guess, he let happen between he and the mother. He let that affect he and his child. And she was telling me how, he was struggling in school, and he was kind of hanging, with his friends and stuff. She said they're not bad kids, but they're really a distraction for him, and it's keeping him from doing his work and whatnot. So I started talking to her, and I looked at him and I was like, man, this kid's got really good potential. He was showing me some of his artwork and telling me how much he loved basketball. And I just remember when I was about his age, my sister had introduced me to this guy named Tony. And I remember Tony ran track and field. And Tony was one of the, he did the high jump, and he represented the United States in the games for Atlanta. And so I was really stoked about that. And Tony was a big kid. So Tony wanted to play video games all the time. So that was our commonality. Tony always wanted to play video games, and Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. That's when it first came out. And he liked to play Madden and NBA Live, and I just loved it. So when I met Tony, all through the years, and I'm 31 now to this day, and Tony and I still keep in contact. But what I took away from meeting Tony was, it was the inspiration that I could grow up and I could do great things. I was next to someone who was great at something. And I didn't have a dad, but it was always amazing because I always had people in my corner that was mentoring me and got me off to the right track. So the situation arose today, and man, my heart jumped out of my chest, man. And I looked at this kid and I was like, man, this is sad. And usually you can just go on about your day and do whatever the case may be. But I thought about this kid, and I thought about how a good kid can go wrong real quick, and how a mother can be left crying. And I thought about what's wrong with the men today in this world is their fathers weren't around. But even if their fathers weren't around, if these men had kids, if these young men had mentors, people that were around them, they don't necessarily need you to be a father, but they do need the structure of a man. So, my heart jumped out of my chest, and I was like, man. So I told the little kid, I said, look, man, I went to Ohio State University on a football scholarship. I was able to see and experience different things. I won a national championship. I met people that I never thought I would be able to meet. I even went to the White House for a presentation by the President of the United States at the time, George Bush. And so he was impressed about that. And I was thinking, well, why wouldn't he be? When I was in his situation, I was impressed about Tony. And I'm not trying to give myself any clout, but we all have had experiences in our lives that, from the old saying is, a prophet is never accepted in his own hometown. His mom is trying to tell him what to do, the right things to do, but those things don't resonate the same way it does with a man. And sometimes it doesn't resonate as well than a stranger that seems to have your best interest. So I was thinking, man, if us men step up and we mentor one person, take one person under our wing, play video games with them, go play basketball with them. This kid would love it if somebody go play basketball with him. He says his mom gets out there and tries to throw football with him and stuff like that, and he doesn't even want to do it. So I just felt compelled and compassionate to share that with you. So that's exactly what I want to do. So I gave this kid my phone number. I said, anytime you need me, call me. And then I got his phone number. And I told him, hey, listen, man, we can go play basketball every week at the youth center. He was giggling so hard. And then I remember the power it is to connect with people, especially our young children. This could be the difference in this kid's life, and I don't know. But based on my experiences, I believe that this experience is going to be life-changing for him. Life-changing. And I know that if I can make an impact on him positively, if I can get him to study just a little bit more, if I can get him to have a little bit more of a perspective, if I can get him to understand about making sure your work is done before you play, if I could do that and I can have that kind of impact on him, imagine what an asset in society he's going to be. I mean, that's just one less kid that grows into someone who gets a group of other misfit kids to go around and rob you, to go around and steal from you, to go around and kill from you, and turn it into the kid that grows up to help you carry your bags across the street, to help watch out and protect you, to make this world a better place. See, the world is like a plate of food with no flavor, and good people are like the salts of the earth. And you know you don't need to sprinkle a lot of salt on your plate to give it flavor. And that's what good people do. Good people give the world flavor. And when you have flavor, it makes it enjoyable. So let's make this world enjoyable, and I challenge you. Find one person. If you're a man, find one young man. Anybody that you want that is just missing a male figure in their life. And I want you to grab them. I want you to hold them. I want you to hug them. And I want you to say, you know what? I'm going to be there for you the best I can. If I can't do it, I won't. But if I can, I will. And just be honest with yourself. You don't have to give them the world. You don't have to give them this, that, and the other. All they really want is your time. Carve out time and make time for somebody. And just think about the impact that you can have on their lives. I still talk to Tony to this day. We still play video games online to this day. And Tony is somebody that I'll never forget. And he had one of the biggest impacts on my life. And I don't want to drop his whole name. But Tony had the biggest impact of my life. And Tony is actually his his middle name. It's not his first name. But Tony had one of the biggest impacts on my life. And it's time for us to have an impact on someone's life too. So if you're seeing this video, make yourself a promise. Don't turn away from the video. Don't look at the video and say, oh, that was nice. Oh, what Lee was saying was pretty cool. Like, join me and make the commitment to just grab one young man, take him under your arms, and be a guidance to him. Help him with his homework. Talk to him about girls. Talk to him about school. Talk to him about sports. And if you have the time, go to some of his sports. Go to some of his games. Do those types of things with him. Even if you got kids, incorporate him. All people want is love. Love is the strongest of them all. So just love someone. Take care.